Uni account. I must be in this JJSSY account. I must see my picture here. Hindi ka lucha na. It's okay. I'm gonna keep it.
So, greetings to all. Mahendra, I think you can start.
Yeah. Uh, Hello, everybody. Uh, this is we are going to start the talk show today, our fourth session of continuation session on wealth, with in respect to body and its power, body power. I'm going to. My name is Mahendra Gosar, and I'm representing Midwest. I'm representing holistic science in place of Manish Bhai, and we have currently our valued speaker, Dr. Sailesh Anandji, who is an ophthalmologist in India. Sailesh Anandji, uh, you can continue, Sailesh Anandji.
Okay. So, greetings to all the holistic science listeners and the people who are interested in the holistic science. As Mahen rightly has said, we started the discussion on wealth, and this is the fourth consecutive session. Uh, Everybody of us immediately thinks wealth is equal to money, dollars, rupees, currency, and rightly so. But to recapitulate a little bit, the holistic science aptly expands our understanding that wealth is not only the money, but wealth is everything available to us or the resources available to us to attain the purpose or goal of our life. And when we say the purpose or goal of life, the first basic is happy, harmonious, meaningful living, recognizing and being able to use our inner potentials at the best, experience the inner freedom, and ultimately leading to ultimate truth or liberation. So, going ahead with that, we had already discussed that the wealth does include my body, speech, and mind power. It is said that health is the first wealth. Unless I'm healthy, $1 million in the banks doesn't mean anything to me. So, continuing with the body power, power is the strength or the capacity to accomplish our tasks or goals or aims we have. And we have many different powers: body power, mind power, speech power, power of my knowledge or understanding, power of my real pure self, and so on. So, continuing with the body, last talk we did discuss that my body should be in such a state that I feel enthusiastic, energetic, having optimum energy levels throughout the day, and so to say maximum hours of the day, so that I can accomplish all multiple holistic tasks. When I mention the holistic tasks, the people say that, oh, I have completed my 8 or 10 hours of the job and now I'm tired and just cook and or pull out something from my fridge, put in the microwave, eat and go to bed. I'm not left out with any more energy to do any more work. I think that's not the optimum condition of the body. My body should allow me to wake up early in the morning, even before the alarm ticks in, and I should be enthusiastic and energetic throughout the day. I have observed so many people who work for 12, 14 hours, or even more than that without any feeling of any botheration, burden, fatigue, tiredness. We'll come to it how they develop different body powers, and not only they do the work related to their job or earning, but they have lot many other things, and especially it becomes remarkable when the one is involved in some humanitarian work or in the work where one's mind, speech, and body are being used for the welfare of mankind as a whole in some or other capacity. And especially when I have this aim that let my mind, speech, and body make one and all happy. Let my knowledge, let my skills, let my ability be used for welfare of mankind. Mother Nature, give me the strength so that I can be instrumental in a best possible way for welfare of my family, my society, my nation, and mankind as a whole. It gives my body a different new vigor, a new power. So my concept of conveying this is the nature has given me body which will allow me to work in many different areas, not only taking care of my profession or a living or a earning activity, but upbringing of my children, being with my family, doing something for good of society, nation, or mankind as a whole, and of course my own inner development or my own inner spiritual journey or upliftment. When I say this, at the other end of the spectrum, I do see across the world, or we all do see across the world, where my another aspiration would be medicine free life and living. And you all will agree with me that everybody has 8, 10, 12 medicines in the cupboards and labeled as morning 7 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 4 o'clock, whatnot, from Monday to Sunday. Now, this itself speaks that I am not only that I am not using my body properly, but I am misusing it. I am using it wrongly. I am using it unnaturally. No sooner I lose my naturality, I don't know the rules of the natural and normal living, I invite the diseases. So not only I wish or aspire to become disease free or tablet free, but I want at the other end of the spectrum to have the body which will be always enthusiastic, energetic, feeling something to do more and more for welfare of one and all. Now, having said that, how can one have that? We did mention in previous talk that body has a biorhythmic clock. If I am regular, punctual in all the tasks of my life as to the extent possible, in waking up, in having my breakfast, in having my meals, having my exercise, having all other activities, my body will offer me the best possible support or the energy. But if I'm doing one task someday 7 o'clock in the morning, and next day because of my holiday I'm taking my breakfast 2 in the afternoon, then the body's biorhythmic clock will not allow me the enough or optimum energy. Food, exercises, all the things we discussed. Now if I take it little further from here, there are all of you or looking around through various meditation practices, some people go through yoga practices, some people go through various dietary practices, and people are trying to find out how can I have the healthy living, and not only healthy living, how can I explore the body's power to the optimum and to the best possible. So one can have some small practices which one suits to one's own body. It may be different for everybody, but I can have my own recourse and find out how many minutes of exercises, how many minutes of yoga, how many minutes of meditation, or something along with the correct dietary and correct life and living practices will give me the optimum body strength or power. But as I mentioned previously, it's not only these practices which gives my body the strength. It's my aim, my goal, my intent for which I'm using my body. I'm going to use my body strength, which really gives me the inner strength. If I have the correct holistic science understanding that let my mind, speech, and body be used for the welfare of one and all, then believe me, in itself, it gives me a lot of strength. But if I'm going to use my body for doing the bossism, for pulling somebody's leg, for putting somebody down, then believe me, I am doing my own harm. So this brings to the subtle area of my inner world. And even the medical science has proved nowadays that the positive attitudes are responsible for healing the diseases as well as keeping the body healthy. the negative attitudes or negativity are responsible for inviting the diseases or hampering the body's strength. What do I mean by positivity and negativity? If we see the present corporate scenario, most of the people working in the corporates say that there is a lot of politics, there is a lot of backbiting, there is a lot of leg pulling and whatnot. All this falls into negativity. No sooner I'm trying to criticize or pull down or condemn somebody, I'm damaging my own health. I'm damaging the health of my mind. I'm damaging the health of my body. People say I have a lot of stress. What is the stress after all? I say the stress is a condition of lack of harmony within and without, maybe at a family, maybe at a workplace, maybe in a society, arising out of incorrect understandings, and there nobody else is responsible. My incorrect understanding is responsible, and everybody knows how many diseases are invited by stress. So at the other hand, when I have the tools and understanding of harmonious living and the positive living, means I'm trying to help somebody, I'm trying to find some good virtue and make good use of somebody. My heart is always friendly with unconditional love, love without any condition and without any expectation. Believe me, with minimum of food and minimum of sleep, my body will be ever agile, ever energetic, ever enthusiastic. So here I look at many people who have thin bodies like Gandhiji or Rajchandra or the body power, body supported them because their understanding and their intents were very correct, very holistic, and very noble. So I think this is the brief thing I would like to mention. And I personally have a clear understanding and even conviction and to some extent experience that body can allow you to do lot more than what we are doing today. I have personally experienced that I can get up 3:30 or 4 in the morning, do a lot of other things, then go to my clinic, finish the clinic duties, come back and can see what else is to be left out. So we have the immense potential to be understood, to be explored for accomplishing many more things. But unless my vision becomes universal, unless my vision becomes holistic, neither I'll be able to understand, neither I'll be able to explore or use my body's power. I hope that gives the brief uh, premises to start with, and I will wait for your questions.
No, this is great. Um, I see that Manish Bhai is here, and if he has anything to add, we'll wait for that feedback. But I understand that all the great leaders have had a very positive. They have leveraged their body despite so much work and stress and work involved around them. They have had a positive vision and also have a correct belief, and they have used their purpose of life towards the
Yes.
well-being of the society in general. So that kind of, I think you're getting to say that those are the factors that kind of uh, provide fuel to your body indirectly,
Yes. Body
right?
has its own laws as biological laws, physiological laws, and whatever. But the
Right.
most important is body is a tool. It's not the end point. It's a tool accomplish my aims or goals or what is I have in the vision. So unless the driver is good, how the vehicle can provide the best outcome? Body is a vehicle, a tool to accomplish the things which I'm visualizing.
That's good. So you mentioned about how it's a tool out, and there are certain cases where the tool is manifested with some diseases.
Yeah.
There are some external causes. We live in an environment where the environment is not pollution free. We have diseases around. So in terms of that, what are some of the causes of diseases in a body? Could you put some
Oh,
light on?
sure. So we start from that end of becoming disease free and then come to having the maximum energy output. So the
Yes,
this is, by very definition, it is this and is. Whatever doesn't allow me to remain easy within first, and then it results into the body diseases. So the seat of the disease lies within me. Which pollution is more important? When you brought up the issue of pollution, and there is a lot of discussion about ecology around the world, and with all due weightage and due respect, ecology, ECO and ECHO, ecology, are the two similar words for me. And my ecology right now is we all, because we are all are talking and affecting each others by subtle vibrations, each one's presence. So my first ecology is my mind, my own mind, speech, and body. And my second ecology is the environment where I'm working. If I go to clinic, my patients are my ecology. If I'm a family, at my workplace. So the first pollution which is affecting me is pollution within me. I have to see whether my thoughts are polluted, whether my intents are polluted, whether my intellect is polluted. If I can keep myself free of pollution, believe me, the outer pollution will not affect me, because the outer ecology is ECHO, ecology of my own inner world. What is within gets reflected without, even in terms of circumstantial evidences the nature brings or keeps me into, and even whatever affects me. So first I'm concerned with my own inner pollution at the level of mind, speech, body. And as when we talk about body's pollution, of course, a quick recap, that am I putting everything or dumping everything which comes my way, which my mind says this fast food is good and this junk food is very tasty and this burger and whatnot. So do I ask my body that whether it is polluting you? And there is a system that the body, nature has given many hundred times safety factor. It tries to clean up all the toxins and wastages which are getting collected in the body, trying to keep it normal, natural, and healthy. But when we are dumping so much and creating so much of toxins and waste inside the body, that the body's vitality system breaks down. It can't anymore clean the toxins, and that's the stage where the disease gets manifest. Of course, the scientist says take antioxidants and take this, and that's good, but that's not the only thing. I may take antioxidants, but still, if I keep on polluting my mind, speech, and body, especially the body, the antioxidants alone cannot work. And that's the reason why the people taking so many of multivitamins and antioxidants still have the so many disease modifying medicines. So the first is inner pollution, then I take care of the outer pollution. And natural living or the normal living, I should know which is good for my mind, speech, and body, and what's bad for my mind, speech, and body before accepting and feeding and dumping anything inside. Maybe by solid diet wise, maybe by food for mind wise, or maybe food for soul wise, whatever. So diseases are direct result of my wrong living. Very briefly, at some or other way I'm not living correctly. Otherwise, Mother Nature has given such a nice body that it can keep functioning very harmoniously, very well till end without any significant diseases. And if I see, at least I see many people in India who are the older citizens now, they do not need medicines as yet, hardly any, or maybe none, whereas we have 10 pills from morning to evening. So that speaks of what type of life we are living, where are we going wrong.
that's great, Sailesh Anandji. So that, having given us an idea about what are the real factors behind disease in a body, what would this leads me to the next kind of big thing is, then what are some of the ways we can optimize functioning of our body
That's
to be
very good.
maintained?
So one, I said regularity, to allow body's biorhythmic clock to function at its optimum or its best. Second is normal and natural living. Normal means, suppose I like particular sweet very much, and if I go on eating more than required, what happens? And if I totally refrain from it, what happens? So everything should, one should have normality in each walk of life, eating, sleeping, doing the job, have with family relations, sensual places, everything should be in a normal way. There should not be above normal, it should not be below normal. So, and the natural living, as I said, in a winter, the guest comes, and with the guest, I also dump ice cream in my tummy because the guest has to be offered. I don't have anything else ready. My fridge always contains ice cream. But do I ask inside my tummy that there is already cold and the body is trying to maintain the heat required for the body function and digestion, which I am dumping with the ice cream? So this is one example that where, so second point is apart from regularity, normal and natural living. Third point is some practices like meditation, yoga, some exercises, some prayers. Along with that is the third thing. Fourth thing is my aims and goals. Fifth most important thing is my allocation of utilizing my time and my body's energy in different fields. If I'm allocating all my time for collecting dollars, dollars, and dollars, believe me, I'm going to be stressed and diseased very soon. That's why the companies say go to break. But why the breaks are required? If during the day I change my work to something else where I'm helping somebody, I'm making somebody smile, I'm making somebody happy, that itself is my break. It rejuvenates me. Change of work is my break. So allocation of the time, allocation of the body for proper purposes properly, I think that goes a long way. And still, if I want to move further, then I should be using my five senses in sensual pleasures very judiciously or discriminately or restraintfully. Unfortunately, today's world, most of the people are putting sensual pleasures into different perspective, but the holistic science is very clear that use it as required. Don't use it as your hobby. Don't use it as a means of enjoyment. It has its specific purpose of reproduction and satisfying each other to some extent. But that all drains out your energy. So this brings me to the sixth point of subtle energy aspects. And the body has the energy channels. Some says it is positive and negative, yin and yang. I'm not sure. Some says it in terms of acupuncture, positive and negative. Some says in terms of Reiki and vibrational energies and other things. But whatever little I know is there are the energy centers and energy circles. But the most important point is I can always have the energy from the universe if my receptor is open and healthy. I can pray to Mother Nature, give me the energy so that I can be of best use to the mankind. I can accomplish this purpose. I can do this purpose. And believe me, from the Mother Nature, I'll get energy. Really, I'm not getting from Mother Nature, but because I'm opening the doors from within, my own hidden energy, which is lot of energy is hidden inside the body, inside the energy centers, which is slowly opening out and it is slowly helping me out. So I think uh, there's a lot to progress and lot to go ahead inside. And as I believe, as we walk along, the new and new frontiers will keep on opening out, and I can uh, visualize or perceive the absolute ones who are said to have the charam sharir, ultimate body, where the body has so many exceptional, extraordinary qualities, even though in a human form, that by very presence of the body, millions of the peoples become blissful. The bondages of millions of the peoples get broken down, and there is that's where. So this brings to another interesting concept that the scientists have broken the atom or molecule and so much of energy has come out. The holistic science knows not only the power of the atoms or molecules or the matter part, but it knows the power of the conscious also. So where the conscious and matter are relating with each other, that's how the body gets into existence. So if I know the subtler and subtler aspects from the energy, subtle energy body or electrical body, or the vitality body, when we go deep down, which will go to the subsequent talks at the level of mind and at the level of consciousness. And if I know a little bit of principles and secrets of that, I think a new fountain of bliss and new fountain of energy, probably unending, will open out there, which is waiting for the us. So somebody has rightly said that this is the time for mankind to evolve to the higher levels of the better understanding, utilizing, knowing and utilizing the potentials of this wonderful machine of body, mind, body, speech, mind, and also, of course, conscious or a soul in probably a new vision, a new way, new world. And for that, the simple way for me is to get in touch with somebody who is living such a life from around us. And if my vision once has opened out, once I have the wish from heart, the nature shows me where are such people and do get connected to me. So once you decide to go to that path, you will always get the best instruments around you in the nature, in the universe, in the world, which will take you ahead more.
Yeah, thank you, Sailesh Anandji. Definitely, we would love to. I'm sure the audience would also love to know more about it and proceed towards that path and explore that path for the benefit of their inner and outer self. Uh, One last point I wanted to kind of understand is what should be the perspective of a person who is currently undergoing a life-threatening disease. Generally
Okay.
people want to be healthy and they could follow these steps uh,
Hmm.
to try to keep their body clean and healthy, but unfortunately, if somebody is diagnosed with some life-threatening issue, what
Yes.
should be his or her perspective? Could
Very
you
good.
elaborate?
Yes, sure. Very good question. So normally what happens, normally, that whenever any person comes to know the diagnosis from a doctor that you have such and such disease, normally is half dead there. Even before disease kills him, he himself or she herself is being killed by the very psychological effect, very mental effect of hearing that. Now, sometimes the funny things happen that the second laboratory will give you the different report. So even before the truth comes and knocks your door, you have knocked yourself down. And on the other hand, there are examples that who take them positively. I'm going from the worldly view to the holistic view. And some of you may be knowing that the normal cousins was the first person who was told by the doctors in a century back that sorry, now the medical science has nothing to offer to you. He decided, okay, this is the point where now I will take over and I will see how my inner energies, how my inner attitudes can help me to heal this. And believe me, by positive attitudes, he healed himself. So body has tremendous inner energy to heal itself if you know how to employ it correctly. Not only he healed himself, but he moved across the world in various medical conferences to share his experiences that positive attitudes can heal your disease. And he came with a beautiful bestseller book, Anatomy of Head First or something. He had, I think, written down three books. And there many people came like Louis Hay and many other people who established that, okay, the disease has come for whatever reason. Now on one front, we will do the best possible medications, ask the friends, search whatever, which all different alternatives, modern medicine or homeopathy or yoga or Reiki or dietary practice can help me. But the most important help can come is from within myself in two ways. One is positive attitude. Okay, this has come. I am different from that. I am not the disease. Okay, let me, on one side there is a disease, on another side it is me. I'm going to take it positively, and Mother Nature give me the inner strength so I can remain steady, I can remain as normal from within. Second thing, even there are people who have researched that subconscious mind means your inner energy. You start praying, you start believing that, okay, my inner energy is going to make everything correct. And there are examples that by the power of, they say it is a power of subconscious. I say it is the power of inner energy. with a correct prayer and correct projection, which helps healing of the disease. So there are many, many examples where from my inner energy I can heal. The third point, these situations has come, that is one loss, one challenge. How I take it from within. If I become gloomy, I become painful from within, I'm incurring second loss. I don't want to incur the second loss. So I start praying Mother Nature, the particular crisis or challenge has come to this tool or a body. If you give me the correct instruments in terms of doctors and medicines, give me the correct belief and the positivity from within, and give me the energy to heal it. And if I'm healed, I pray and decide and resolve that I'll use my time and energy for the good of other people. So far I have used for my accumulation of my dollars. So far I have used for my so believed sensual pleasures. Now I realize, so if you give me the time and scope, I'll try to use for the others. And believe me, there are examples that the Mother Nature has given them the extension and the people have been used for the welfare of others. Fourth point, whenever there is a critical illness, as I said, medicines as well as the inner energy in form of prayers, positivity, and projections do help. So I'll keep on praying from within. The surrounding people, relatives can also keep on praying because that positivity does help in healing of the disease, and if not, at least in well-being of our inner self to go through that situation in a good way. And as you were saying, the Kaushal Trivedi, who was going to be one of the associate today, he is attending his father's esophageal cancer surgery, and I have been in touch with them. I have the video. I have requested them that please take short clippings because this will show the world a live example. Such critical illnesses, how the people are taking it smilingly, and because he has the understanding of holistic inner science, he's smiling before going to OT, after coming from the theater, that this is the repairing of my house. It is not me which is being repaired. My house is getting fixed. Sometimes some window may be having some problem. Sometimes the door may be having problem. That doesn't bother the owner. So I am free from all the agonies. I am free from all the sufferings. I am forever. I'm not subject to birth and death. So with that inner stability and with that positivity, he is remaining as a knower and seer of the body, undergoing the all the processes or the surgical processes. And as a doctor, I have been fortunate to look around so many such examples. Once in Duncan, I happened to meet a family where the person was undergoing was suffering from fourth stage lung cancer, having so many chemotherapies and so many other things since last 4 years. But his face was smiling. I'm not worried from within, he says. I know who am I as a pure conscious. This is not happening to me. It is happening to body, which the doctors are taking care. And he used his time. He said me, when you have come, please collect all my three sons, daughter-in-laws, and everybody, and we'll pray. And I will just beg their pardon for whatever hurt I have done to them through the lifetime, so that my accounts and my mind gets free. And we did that. So he was so much relaxed from within. So there are so many things which the people can take during the critical illness outside in terms of the best possible medicines and the best possible body practices, from within in terms of correct understanding, which will keep us positive that it has not come. The holistic science says, see, people say I have illness. Holistic science says illness was accumulating since long. Now it is going away. The toxins or tumor had started getting into body since much long. Now this is getting disposed of. It is going away. It has not come today. It is going away. And it's not me, it's the body. And with this positivity, prayers and projections, I think we can go through. But to see is to believe. Unless you see such things, your mind will not believe. So I have been requesting all the people involved with the holistic inner science that whenever you happen to see such a thing around you, take snaps and clicks, short clips, and that will show the world how the world can be helped to pass through these such critical situations or critical illnesses of the body. And so many other ancillary aspects like Reiki and other things can also be employed to soothe that part. I don't say that everything can be reversed, but at least everything can be reversed from within, and many things can be reversed at the body level.
Right, very exactly you pointed to certain miracles that we hear or see in our daily life, that certain times the medicine, external medicine or doctors have not found a solution, but with the soul, inner purusharth, as they call it, they have found overcome the diseases, as you mentioned. So definitely, uh, this is a great subject and such a deep subject that we look at body's power from a holistic and a worldly standpoint. Uh, we are at a point in terms of time where we would like to have some questions from the audience. So I would like to ask Rajni uncle if he has any questions. To start with.
Yes. Thank you very much. This is Rajni Patel. I'm a retired project manager, and I'm writing some books for the children. This is Dr. Shailesh Banerjee. You have opened a wide variety of thoughts and vision. I could not believe that body is just body, but you have so many facets that you dwell today that we can talk about this for a long time. However, you talked about goal and stress and tiredness and biorhythm and all that stuff. I have two questions. One is the body, from what I hear, beside the strength we get from food, there's a lot of strength in the body. But what does the food play part in our biorhythm, our stressness, tiredness, and all that stuff?
Well, uh, the food has to be balanced food. Its type of food, quality of food, amount of food, way of taking the food, time of taking the food, everything is very important. But to make it a little short and brief, my some candle or a lamp is the flame is getting fueled. How much fuel it needs in terms of oil is to keep the flame going on. So body really needs the food, which is not huge in amount. The amount may be essential, small amount, less amount. But the type of food which you are taking should be more of a greens and leaves. So they say that 70% of your food should be made out of greens and beans and fruits and other things, more of nearer to the nature. 30% can come from the cereals and much less from the fats and oils, and if possible, none from the animal proteins or the non-veg things. About the quality, homemade freshly prepared food. About the way of eating the food, one always should eat mindfully, meaning thereby my reflective consciousness should be there when I'm eating. My mind or reflective consciousness should not be wandering somewhere else, or should not be engrossed in the TV or a smartphone or something. And time of food, as we again say, biorhythm, paying respect to biorhythmic clock. If I am regular, and my evening meal before 2 to 2.5 hours before going to bed. But that is a gross part of the food, I would say. The maximum strength that the body derives is not from food. Food is essential, like a oil or for remaining the flame. But the maximum strength body derives is from within, from by my understanding, goals, aims. And this here, I want to take you to the another area. If you have observed many monks, they fast, they take very little food for days together, and still they are energetic most of the times. And at the extreme of that, there is one person in Ahmedabad who lived on a solar power, energy being derived from the sun without any solid food for days together. And he is live today. So there are many, many more frontiers which we don't know as a normal people, as a normal scientist, as a normal doctor, which really is giving strength to the body. But cursorily to say that food is, of course, an essential and important part, but there are so many subtle things going on in the body, along, and amongst which the most important is which aims and goals keep me uh, focused for the good of others, and that's really for good of me and keeping me harmoniously in harmony with the nature. So here the food for body only is not important, food for mind and food for soul also becomes important. And here so many scientists are saying us take these antioxidants, take magnesium, and it is stress relieving. Okay, I can have 1000 milligrams of magnesium or 400 milligrams of magnesium, but no sooner I go to office I start fighting with the people who can be pulled down today. Do you think that will relieve me of the stress? So magnesium
No.
is helping, but what is more helping is my inner world, my inner vision, belief, and attitudes. Otherwise, with one fight and one clash, all magnesium will be washed away, all antioxidants will be washed away. So, with due respect to the science, science is looking at the outer parameters and outer aspects, but more important is the inner parameters or inner aspects.
Thank you very much, Sharishan. There's one more question. We talk about goal, and thank goodness that I'm retired now. And if I were to live my life again, and after understanding holistic science, I will live it differently. But again, saying that today's goal, I talk about my son, my friends, other. Today's goal is to work like a machine, make money, spend money. So what that goal, now I realize after retirement what really life is. What can we tell people that their goal should be, or try to refine their goal?
Yes, very basic thing I would like to discuss with them is, for what are you working so hard? So he says getting money. Money for what? Like a management people was teaching that fisherman to become happy, to become have a stress free life. Are you at the moment? For the very purpose which you are working so hard, don't talk of future. Are you right now happy, harmonious, free, and positive from within? So search something which can keep you happy, stress free, positive from within. If your present is taken care of, your future can be taken care of. If your present is not taken care of, there is not future is not going to come anytime. You will always be in the same. So something is required at the level of understanding. Money is not wrong. Money is good, but how much, with what aim, with what intent, with what vision you are working for it. And if you are really working correctly, the money will follow as a byproduct. You will not have to put your whole life in as a cost to acquiring money. And so there are n number of examples who have spent the whole life accumulating, and when the time comes to rejoice, they are no more. When it comes, they have gone, and money is left over for the people to use or misuse behind. So is this the wisdom? And you are using it very nicely. I know that at the age of, what's your age? 75, 76, Rajni
No,
bhai?
no, not yet, not yet. A little bit lower.
Okay, maybe 70 plus, but at the 70
70
plus,
plus, yes.
70 plus is very energetic, very enthusiastic to do a lot more things for good of everybody, including children, and taking holistic science around. And that is propelling him, making him younger and younger day by day. Am I
Thank you
right?
very much. Thank you very much. Yes, yes. Thank you very much. This was very enlightening.
Yeah. So there are all the parameters. I don't undermine any external parameters, but the most important is the inner world, inner understanding, inner belief, inner vision, and correct holistic perspective.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sailesanji. Thank you, Rajni uncle. Uh, I then request Manish Bhai. I think Manish Bhai has a question. Manish Bhai, are you there?
Yeah, Sailesh, thank you for your enlightening talk about how disease is created in the body and what can we do to um, address that. I was wondering, is disease only caused by the excesses we do in terms of, food or other habits or that we have, or do past karmas play any role in disease
Yes.
that we have, let's say, in this life?
Yeah, you are right. That whatever I talked in part, like unnatural, above or below normal, wrong living, is the things seen outside. There are more subtler things inside. But the part of the world may not understand or may not be really ready to accept this inner, subtler world. But there is. Suppose we all five are on a dining table and several varieties are kept. You will take different, I will take different, Rajani, I will take different. Are we eating by choice? Appears, but in fact, my inner atoms and molecules are sucking it, they are dragging it. So there comes the role of what atoms and molecules, what is karma? Karma is atom conglomerates of atoms and molecules which I have brought with me or which are with me within, which are separate from conscious. The most subtle atoms and molecules form my mind. So there becomes the question of beliefs, attitudes, and understandings and opinions and everything. Then from the subtle and gross molecules, my speech is formed, and from the grossest molecules, the body is formed. So this inner subtle part is really very important because, and the second principle, if I have hurt somebody through mind, speech, and body, at that time I'm drawing the atoms and molecules which are being negatively charged some or other way. Whenever I'm criticizing somebody, condemning somebody, hurting somebody, my inner state of being is also negative, is hurting right, which is hurting me right away, but I'm not aware to look at that. But at the same time, it is drawing negatively charged atoms and molecules. So those stored negatively charged atoms and molecules, when they will fructify to give me some result, they will attract all the negative circumstances or painful or hurting things. The simple rule is wherever and whichever way my mind, speech, and body has hurt somebody, I will have some suffering coming to me through body, speech, or mind. As against that, whenever I'm in a helping mode, in a loving mode, in an obliging mode, no, not right away I'm helping myself, I'm becoming positively charged, my atoms and molecules and energy body become positive, but also the atoms and molecules which are being drawn in are positively charged. So they, when they will give effect cumulatively, they will give me the positive, all evidences as well as effects, and I'll be at best of my energy, best of my health, best of my understanding. So you have rightly taken us to the inner world, which is the most important in terms of conglomerates of atoms and molecules, which I'm drawing and disposing in presence of my conscious through the leverage of I am. And if I understand that part, that's where I was always trying to draw the attention inside, that the world within is the most important. And the subtle aspect of the world within is the conglomerates of atoms and molecules, which the scriptures term as the karmas. Karmas are nothing but these physical conglomerates working within and without. So yes, that's true. And this is the thing. And there are experiments also. Not exactly, they have not been able to reach to the subtle levels of karmas, but at least they have proved that disease first comes to inner energy body. If you look at the aura photography pictures and so many cameras, first you can notice that, okay, this part is getting diseased or deranged or the energy is becoming defunct here. After a while, the disease will come in the body. So first the disease comes within, then the disease comes out, and the subtlemost part is these karmic things. Having said that, am I totally helpless because whatever I have brought? No, that is there. The debt is there, but now I can earn more to cover up that debt and still earn the profit. What do? The company, you have purchased some company which is having the debt. Are you afraid of that? No, you devise a strategy where not only you can pay off the debt, but you can have positive to work ahead. So whenever such situations come, I can have now the positive understanding so that I remain unaffected by that and I generate the positivity and the positive understanding and energies. So I move ahead, crossing over that negative uh, past atoms or conglomerates of the karmas. So karmas are one factor, but they are not the everything, or they cannot be totally binding, though affecting. You have your inner choice, inner freedom, inner free will, relative free will, by which you can overcome that and go through that, gaining something more. Unless there are such life challenges, you will not grow more.
This is really, really enlightening. I think for me, this is the first time I have heard how the science of disease works at an atomic or molecular level. So this is extremely revelatory for me. How we get, how we charge our bodies with positive or negative molecules, which at the end, manifest into the disease or the positive or negative results down the road. So that is very, very uh,
Yes, I'll add one or two more points which is coming to me. One is people talk about genetics, that okay, you have brought the genes. Now, what are the genes? In one way, gene is the one of the evidence in a sequence of scientific circumstantial evidences, which is on the aspect of result giving or effect. It's not the cause. The cause is something different, but when the result is effect is to be manifested, it needs so many sequential scientific circumstantial evidences, into which gene is one of the things. Now there is much more interesting branch of science which has come up, and that is known as epigenetics. So they are proving that genes alone are not responsible. Your environment, inner especially your beliefs, can have the effect on the genes and you can change. So there was a lovely book by one scientist, I'm not remembering the name, but a cell scientist. He worked for 25 years and he came out with a beautiful book, Biology of Belief. And he proved that your beliefs make your entire relative personality, including it affects all the cells of your body, membrane permeability, genes and everything. And you can change your beliefs and you can change your life, or you can be master or co-creator of your life, including at the physical level. And believe me, he is a scientist. He is not a spiritual or a philosopher person. And if I recollect the name, I will tell you the name within a short while. So
that is
these were the two more. Yeah,
Dr.
please.
Shailachan, this brings me a very good new point. There is a Dr. Tanzi in Harvard, neuroscience doctor, who my son just met, and he's
Yes.
working on the stomach, food
Yes.
intake,
Mm,
where it's in the brain, and
mm,
he's coming to the conclusion that
mm.
we are responsible for muting our genes. So
Yes.
we would like to take the topic some other time, but muting the gene is a passion for me. And please, as a doctor, we like to take it in the future. Okay.
Yeah, sure. So the Bruce Lipton is the scientist who wrote that beautiful book, Biology of Beliefs, wherein he proved conclusively that it is your beliefs, you yourself, which is affecting everything, including the genes. And that branch is termed as epigenetics. Okay. So,
This is
so,
a
so,
great
so
topic.
this is
As a doctor,
this is
let's
a
take the topic some other time.
yeah, sure. But these are, see, these are just, I'm drawing the attention to the wider picture, so we know that, oh, the world is much more than what we know.
No, great question, Manish Bhai, and a great insight into our inner self and the atomic level. Our inner workings are that affect our body and our surroundings. At this point, I think I would like to ask if there are any more questions uh, from uh, from from Puniben or any of the audience members.
Good evening, Dr. Anand. Yeah, Sailesh
Sure.
Anand. How are
Yes.
you?
Welcome, Anita.
Yeah, I'm really enjoying this topic. I'm just taking it all in. I'm just like intrigued with everything that's going on. I'm thoroughly enjoying it. But I did have a question. You touched upon, sorry, this is Punita Desai.
Yeah.
I'm a
Yeah.
graphic designer from Tustin. I didn't introduce myself earlier. You touched upon the inner ecology or the pollution within us. which is, I love the approach and the phrase you're using there. But how do we correct or recognize the inner disturbances? I don't even know if people will know they have disturbances in there. How do you even recognize them to obtain like that pure and
Very good.
unconditional
Very
virtuous
good.
state you were talking about, the great ones have, which we want to strive for, but if you don't know you have it, how do you correct it? So
No, very good question. So I would humorously and lightly say a mirror is a wonderful invention. We use mirror to dress our hairs and our eyebrows, but when we go to mirror and ask, see that is my face smiling and free of tension lines, that itself speaks that there is something wrong within me. The things which is not allowing my face to remain smiling and free of tension lines, I have to look within. And if I look within, oh, so many things are going on. My husband is not doing the duty properly, and I have to do all the time. And my children are not studying the way I want them. All the complaints and quarrels and dissatisfactions and not getting to the at rest with the situation. All these are pausing the things on me or paying the things on me. So it starts from, it's very easy. Can I sit silently for 10 minutes with my own self with closed eyes and feel happy and blissful? If I can, even for 10 minutes, things are right to some extent. If I can't, no sooner I try to shut down everything and be within myself, there is so much inner noise and chaos and clash that I get afraid and immediately I start my TV. And oh, there be outer noise so at least my inner self doesn't disturb me. So there are so many parameters which can tell me, am I really satisfied with my own self within me? Am I really happy and harmonious with my own? Leave aside the world outside. Am I happy with my own self within me? Am I satisfied with whatever I am doing and for whatever I am doing? Most of the people don't know for what I am doing all these things. So this is a simple thing, little inner looking, I would say. Start looking within for a while, and there is everything inside to give you the answer. And then the steps follow why it is happening. So, where should I correct my understanding? How should, and the extreme also, I will tell you the outer effect because I'm not at harmony within myself with me, it leads to stress and it leads to chronic fatigue syndrome where my muscles are aching, I have backache and I have neck ache and I have something. And the scientist says, headache, whatever it is, and the scientist says this is known as, they don't have any name or any label for this disease. Sometimes they say you have anxiety disorder, sometimes they say you have depression. They don't understand that this is a continuous chronic fatigue which is being generated through the inner disharmony, lack of harmony, and outer side it leads to oxidative stress and so much things. In short, my body is not giving me good signals. It is complaining, it's speaking somewhere, oh, this is stiff and this is not good. And that is why the yoga says relax and lie down for 10 minutes and consciously say your muscles that I'm relaxed here, my foot is relaxed, my head is relaxed, my hands are relaxed. And at that time you realize how much tension is there in each muscle of your body. That's the external effect of what is going on within. So there are many ways one can really identify in a normal living, and which is not allowing us to enjoy the life with free smiling, free interaction, tension free face at least.
okay.
I hope it answers you.
It did. I mean, I need to start looking within for sure to recognize it. Like, I don't think I'm stressed, but there's always a lot of tension back here and stuff. So
Yes,
obviously there's
yes.
something within that's stressing me out, but I can't completely recognize
Un
it yet.
Unless you are trying to take selfie, the face is not smiling.
Yeah, there you
If
go.
somebody takes your photograph, it's not never a
Then there's
smiling
something
face. It's not a smiling face.
true. True.
Now, thank you, Puniben. Great question. And thank you, Shailesh Anandji, for the great insight. At this point, I think we are approaching our time, and I'd like to quickly summarize our points here. We had a great in-depth topic of body power, and I think we could use that topic to discuss, peel some more layers, and understand some more as as we go through our journey. We had a great understanding of the causes of diseases, how to deal with a disease, how to leverage your body for the betterment of your goals and the society. Also, we had a great understanding about the intake of food and the different aspects of food's effect to our body, and also at a very minute level of uh, atomic workings of our inner self and how that affects our body and diseases. So that was a great discussion, and I'm sure everybody had a lot of takeaways and a lot of thinking to do, food for thought from here. uh, for more information, I'd like you to go to our website, which is hscrf.org, and also we have recorded this on YouTube, so feel free to visit it and re-listen it if you like. Our next Google Talk will be on Sunday, December 27th. So I'm looking forward for everybody to join, and looking forward to a great discussion. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Dr. Sailesh Anand.
Thank you. Goodbye. And last concluding story. I know this is a real life situation. Few years back, one of our holistic science practitioner had to undergo the coronary bypass surgery. He underwent the surgery. From second or third day, he was visiting cot of every patient and praying for them. His wife was restraining him that you had undergone surgery. Why are you moving to every cot and praying for everybody? He says, you don't understand me. This is giving me positive power. I really get out of my body. It helps in healing. The praying for others is prayer for me first. Jai Sachidanand. Bye.
Yeah, Jai Sachidamani.